Good morning, boys and girls. Today we're going to make a tree collage. Who remembers how we make a collage? We need a couple of things. So we need glue and we need paper. So I don't have any of my supplies from school with me here. So I'm going to make my collage using recycled paper that I already have in the house. I'm going to use newspapers. And I'm going to use magazines, and I'm going to use old cracker boxes or cereal boxes, anything that you have laying around the house that you could use. So let's talk about how are we going to make a tree. So first, I'm going to use a crayon to draw the dirt, the soil, because I don't want to put soil on my collage. So I'm going to color with my brown crayon and make some dirt. And then I went outside and I found this little tiny rock. And I'm going to use the rock for my seed. So I'm going to put some glue on my seed. And I'm going to plant it in my soil. Okay. Now, I planted the seed in the soil. How is it going to grow? It needs two things. It needs water and it needs sunlight. So hopefully the sun is going to shine on my seed and the rain is going to come and my seed is going to start to grow. The first thing that's going to grow are the roots, and the roots grow under the ground. So what can I use to make my roots? I'm going to cut up some newspaper. And if you don't have scissors, you could tear the paper. That's fine too. So you could even tear the paper and make your roots. So I'm going to take some glue and I'm going to put it on my root and I'm going to stick it under the ground coming out of the seed. The roots grow out of the seed. And I'm going to put another root. And I'm going to put one more. Okay. So we have the seed and the roots. The next thing to grow is going to be the trunk of the tree, the big part of the tree. I'm going to use a piece of cardboard. Okay, it's just from a box. I cut it up. So I have my cardboard. I'm going to put some glue on it. And I'm going to stick it on my paper above the ground. So I have the seed, the roots, and the trunk of the tree. The next thing I need are branches. You could go outside and you could find some real branches if you want and use them. Or I took the back of this cardboard box, is brown, and I tore up the paper. I didn't even use scissors. I just used my fingers to tear the paper, the cardboard. And I'm going to use these to glue on the branches to the tree. The branches grow out of the trunk. Now, if you don't have glue, but you have some tape, you could also tape on your pieces. So I'm going to use tape. Tape or glue, either one works. I'll put another one on. Okay, so I have the seed and the roots and the trunk and the branches. The last thing I need are the leaves. The trees are starting to get leaves coming back. They're growing again. They've been dormant all winter because it was really cold, but now that it's getting warm again, the leaves will bloom again on the trees. So I cut up from a newspaper. See, I have this green part of this newspaper. I cut it up and I'm making some leaves, and I'm going to take my glue and I'm just going to put a drop of glue and stick on the leaves. And the leaves grow on the branches. So the leaves will go on the branches. And you could put as many as you want. And when you have leaves on the tree at the top of the tree is called the crown. That's the whole top of the tree that includes the branches and the leaves. You could put on as many as you want. You could put more branches on, however you want to make your tree. And there we have a collage of a tree using recycled materials. Last week we learned about Earth Day, and for Earth Day we learned that we need to recycle things and reuse them. So here we have ordinary stuff that you find around the house, newspapers, magazines, cardboard boxes, and you could cut it or you could rip it, whatever you want to do. And you could use glue or you could use tape to stick it to the paper. If you don't have any collage materials, you could always make a drawing. First, make your soil, plant your seed. The rain is going to fall, the sun is going to come out, and the roots are going to grow. What kind of line am I using to make my roots? Yeah, curvy or zigzag would be fine. Then, 2 vertical lines to make the trunk of the tree. Remember, we talked about vertical lines are the standing up lines. And then we need some branches. They could be curvy lines, zigzag lines, or straight lines. And then you could just put some leaves on your branches. So, we're talking about trees today, and I would like for you to try to make a collage tree if you have the right materials at home, and if you don't, you could just draw a tree with the seed and the roots and the trunk and the branches and the leaves. So I'm going to show you this one more time, the collage tree, using paper and glue or tape, anything that you could find to stick the pieces to the paper. And that's our art lesson for today. Okay, thank you everybody. Bye.